morning pre-prep and welcome to March, the very first day of the third month of the year. And what a glorious way it has arrived with the beautiful sunshine that we have been having over the last few days. Well, let's get started by reading out the merits. So who has earned themselves one last week for their wonderful work? Well, in reception I have one for Rafi, one for Arthur, and one for Rufus. Well done to you guys. In year one for Maya, and Charlie, and Otto. And year two, I have one for Max, one for Georgie, one for Pip, and last but not least, one for Oliver. So well done to all of you. I'll get those in the post to you. And also well done to Jessica, because you've earned your gold award. Well done to you. I shall pop this in the post along with your badge. So hopefully that will arrive in the next few days. Well, it is March, the very first day of March, and you might be wondering why I'm sat here with some daffodils and a leek on my table. Well, it's because today is a very special day, especially if you're Welsh or your name is David, because it is St. David's Day. Now, we've talked about saints before, and we know that saints are people who have a really good friendship with God. And because they have such a good friendship, they're often able to sometimes do the most amazing things. Well, St. David is the patron saint of Wales. He lived a really long time ago, over 1,000 years ago, but we still remember him today for the wonderful things he did and the wonderful friendship he had with God. Now, we know that St. David was a really good man to the people of Wales, but some of the stories we know about him, you might think, are they really true or are they a legend? So what I'm going to do first of all today is to tell you two stories that we know about St. David, and you can decide whether you think they really happened or whether perhaps they're a legend. Here's the first one, and it might help us explain something about this leek. Swords clashed as the men of Wales fought for hours to protect their land from the Saxon invaders. But despite their efforts, the Welsh were slowly losing. And in the heat of the battle, it was difficult to tell who was the friend and who was the enemy. And that was because both sides wore very similar clothing, and which made the fight very confusing. Well, there was a monk who noticed that this was becoming quite a serious problem, and as the Welsh lost more and more ground, the monk cried out to them, "Welshmen, you must mark yourselves so that you can better tell who is Saxon and who is Welsh." The monk plucked a leek plant from the ground and continued, "Here, wear these so you will know that any soldier who does not have a leek is your enemy." Well, some of the soldiers thought this was a bit of an odd idea, but the monk was one of God's men, so they went along with it. And soon every Welsh soldier was wearing a leek on his helmet. They attacked the invaders, and before long, the Welsh had won the battle. Now I wonder if you can work out who the monk was who came up with the idea of putting the leek into the helmet. You're right, that was St. David. And many years later, St. David died, and he died on March the 1st. And after he died, lots of the really important people in the church decided that he should be a saint. So the next story I want to tell you about is the day people were deciding if David at that time should be the Archbishop, which is somebody who's very important in the church. And so they were at the church and there were lots and lots of people talking, and somebody said, "It's so busy here, we can't hear what David has to say." And at that moment, the ground David was standing on rose up beneath him, so it was like he was standing on a little hill, and everyone could see him and everyone could hear him. Is that a fact? Do you think that really happened? Or do you think that might be a legend? Do you know, I don't think it really matters. What does matter is that we remember St. David as being a wonderful friend to the Welsh people and to God. And the leek is a special flower of Wales. Wales. So today, Welsh people all over the world might be wearing part of the leek, the stalk, the leaf, or maybe the flower, to show that they remember St. David and remember him for being so wonderful. Now the leek flower is very much like the daffodil, and that's a bit easier to find this time of year. I'm sure you have seen them all around you if you've been out and about on walks or maybe in your gardens. They are sprouting up everywhere at the moment, making us smile, making us know that spring is just about arriving. I like those stories about St. David, but the thing I like most of all about St. David, and the thing we know to definitely be true, is that he said the most important thing to do in life are the little things. And by that, I think he means little acts of kindness, little smiles, showing somebody you care. They're the important things, and if everybody did the little things, the world would be a really, really happy place. So I found this story here, which is called Thank You, Jackson, I think. Thank you, Jackson. And I think St. David himself could have written this story. He didn't really. It's written by Nikki and Jude Daly. But I think he would enjoy this story for thinking about the message that it gives us. Let's read it. Thank you, Jackson. How one little boy makes a big difference. Once there was a farmer who had a wife called Beauty, a son called Goodwill, and an old donkey called Jackson. Every market morning, the farmer would load potatoes, carrots, corn and pumpkins onto his old donkey's strong back and take him up the hill to the market. And up the hill Jackson would go, without complaint or rest. Then, one morning, the old donkey decided to stop halfway and go no further. "What's the matter?" asked the farmer. But as donkeys cannot talk, the farmer got no answer. Irritated, he began pushing from behind, saying, "Go, go!" But Jackson would not go. The farmer tried pulling Jackson from the front. "Come, come," he pleaded, afraid that he might lose customers if he arrived too late at the market. Still Jackson would not budge. The poor animal had had enough of his thankless task, carrying heavy loads year after year uphill to the market. "Bad donkey," shouted the farmer, and with that Jackson sat down, and the vegetables fell from his back and rolled down the hill. Furious, the farmer began looking for a stick so he could hit the stubborn animal. "I'll count to 10, and if you are not standing up, I will give you a taste of this," scolded the farmer, showing Jackson what a big stick he'd found. Then he began to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Down below, Beauty, the farmer's wife, had seen all that was happening on the hill. She called her son Goodwill. "Please," she said, "will you go and help your father with the donkey?" "Yes, Mum," replied Goodwill. "Thank you, son," said his mamma. At once the little boy set off up the hill. 8, 9, the farmer continued to count. But as donkeys can't count, it meant very little to Jackson. On the count of 10, the farmer raised his stick. He was about to strike when his little boy called out, "Father, please don't hit Jackson." The old donkey was happy to see Goodwill. Slowly the farmer lowered his stick and watched as Goodwill went up to Jackson and whispered something in his ear. Immediately the old donkey rose to his feet. The farmer was amazed. "What did you say to get this stubborn animal off his lazy behind?" he asked. "Mamma says," explained Goodwill, "that it's the little things like saying please and thank you that make a big difference in the world." Well, ashamed, the farmer dropped his stick. Not once Had he ever thanked his old donkey for the many years of carrying loads to the market? Quietly they gathered up the vegetables and loaded some onto Jackson's back, while some they carried themselves. At the market they laid out the potatoes, carrots, corn and pumpkins under a shady tree, while the tired old donkey grazed nearby on a patch of grass. By the end of the day all the vegetables had been sold, and the farmer, his little boy and his old donkey set off for home. Back at the farm, Beauty had supper waiting for them. But first, said the farmer, I have something to say to Jackson. He turned to his old donkey, stroked him gently and whispered in his ear, Thank you, Jackson. I think that farmer learned a lesson there. Maybe a lesson that Beauty and Goodwill had learned from St. David, to do the little things. In that story it was just being polite, saying please and thank you, that made such a big difference to Jackson the donkey. By using those words, he didn't mind doing that hard work. But if somebody doesn't say that, then perhaps he would feel a bit grumpy about it and not want to keep on doing it. There are other ways we can do the little things as well. I've said to you before, if you see somebody without a smile, give them one of yours. It could brighten up somebody's whole day. Well, I found a perfect song for us to sing. It's the one about asking, how can we make a difference? So let's sing that one now. How can I make a difference? How can I make a difference? How can I make a difference in this great big world? How can I make things better? How can I make things better? How can I make things better in this great big world? If I do what's bad, people will be sad. So I must do good, 'cause I know I should. I must never take, I must never break. I must try to mend, try to be a friend. That's how I make a difference. That's how I make a difference. That's how I make a difference in this great big world. That's how I make things better. That's how I make things better. That's how I make things better in this great big world. I think St. David would like that song as well. Maybe he heard us singing it and we've put a big smile on his face. Well, time to light the candle and say our prayer. Let's get it lit. You can put your hands together and remember to make the prayer your own by saying Amen at the end. Dear God, help us to do the little things in life and to know that our small acts of loving kindness can make a big difference to the world. Amen. Well, I hope you've enjoyed finding out about St. David, and maybe you could find a way to do the little things in life this week. And I will see you for a real life assembly next week. Have a great week, Pre-Prep.